Hey, what's up everyone? Bren here, and in this video I'll be doing a replay analysis of a mid 4K MMR game that Broken submitted to be reviewed. So the first thing to look at is the enemy's draft in this game, since it's a really hard game for Terrorblade to shine, in my opinion. Because first of all, they have a Lion, who's easily one of the best support heroes to have against the Terrorblade. He has Hex and Mana Drain, both of which insta-kill an illusion. So if you send an illusion down a lane to put on map pressure into farm, you can just instantly clear that from range with Mana Drain. Lions generally get Tranquil Boots really early, so he's really mobile between lanes, and he really just shuts down your split push power. And in team fights, he has Lockdown with the stun and Hex, and he has high magic damage with Fingers, so really hard here for Terrorblade to deal with. Lina, same story. High magic damage and AoE clear. Even has solo kill potential on TB. So I definitely think Lina is a hard counter as well. So these two picks alone make the game kind of difficult, unless you snowball off the laning stage. The rest of their lineup isn't too bad. Enchant can be annoying, but the nice thing is Terrorblade definitely is one of the better heroes to have against a Wraith King. So right here, just starting the laning off, and Bane actually makes that mistake of Bane actually tanked the enemy melee creeps, which actually lured them up here, and then that meant that your creeps went onto the archer. So this lane is going to be pushing off the mistake that Bane made. So in a situation like this, you either need to auto-attack this creep wave down as fast as you can to get this pull off, to get this easy pull off, or maybe this one, which Bane hasn't checked, but this one is usually going to be up. So what you can usually do is just auto-attack this first wave down if a situation like that occurs, and then have Bane pull this, because your first wave will still be alive, and it'll meet the Bristleback second wave, which you're not really auto-attacking it down. So you're kind of just going to be in a sort of static laning stage against a Bristle, who's a hero that really just excels with just levels. Really, it becomes really annoying in lane. But you do have creep advantage, and with creep advantage, you want to be playing aggressively. Like Bane's positioning needs to be aggressive. Your position needs to be aggressive. Like you guys shouldn't be sitting right here. Like you want to be like standing like right here, and just like holding this position. When a creep gets low, yeah, you go near to the enemy creeps and you auto attack it. But you guys kind of want to just be playing really aggressively. Like you guys had creep advantage there, but he managed to just drag that creep off and managed to get that CS. But yeah, he's getting a lot more out of this lane than he should have. Even right now, you could potentially be playing just standing closer to the offlaner and just kind of like threatening him, which like even though it might not have like a huge effect, it can definitely impact the game, and just the offlaner's ability to just pull the lane back mostly. And yeah, so you guys definitely need to go for a pull though, because he's just getting way too much. Like if the lane is right here, you definitely want to be going for a pull. Obviously that's not something you can do, that's something that Bane should be focusing on, but maybe something that you could maybe communicate. If you get a single point in illusion early, you can actually do that. You can actually just pull the lane back, but you're going for the reflection and the meta right away, which cannot really complain about. Completely fine. It's really good at getting kills if the offlaner overextends. You pick up a Coiling Blade, and you have an item coming out on the courier, which is going to be your Wraith Band. Okay, so you're using the courier really early, which it's completely fine. Like if your mid has their bottle and they're not close to boots, that's fine. But your Ember is really close to boots, on top of already having his bottle. So I would definitely have waited to get your Wraith Band out. Like I don't think it's really going to accomplish too much in this lane. You guys really don't have the best kill potential on a Bristleback, and you having the Wraith Band isn't going to be that impactful, especially since you didn't go for like a really quick 2-point illusion build. Because if you go for a really quick 2-point illusion build, you can actually start doing jungle rotations pretty quickly. But you're going for the teamfight build, which is fine. But you definitely should have waited until your Ember got his boots. So Bane is finally doing a pull, but this is a really bad timing because Bristleback is level 4, so he can definitely just contest this. He can even just farm these really easily if Bane doesn't play this correctly. I'm not sure why Bane isn't hitting him. I don't know what's happening here. They're just staring at each other. Yeah, so you're just farming under tower like you should be doing. But you're coming over here because you see the Bristleback playing aggressively, so this is good. And you cast a reflection right as he went into the fog. So that did not hit him. So for anyone that does not know, reflection does not hit people in fog. I'm pretty sure that you know that as well. But that's just kind of unfortunate that happened. Yeah, stuff like that just happens. It sucks. It definitely would have been a kill on him. But you're just playing this landing stage. So 202 build has definitely gained some popularity. But I looked at some of the competitive games that have occurred, just to like the stats and see what builds like people are going in competitive games, and it's still people are still favoring just a conjure image build, like just the max, like where you only get 2 points in reflection. I think this game is the build where I think I would want you to go for only 2 points in reflection, just because you guys don't really have the best team fight lineup in terms of like straight up pushing against them. It's gonna be really hard to push against what they have, but just having 2 points in reflection is really good at just holding your own towers. Because Terrorblade's problem before was he didn't have any strong team fight, so he could just get pushed down. All of his towers would get lost really early, but now you just need a few points in reflection. You can go to early team fights at your towers. You just TP in, cast your reflection, and just by casting your ability on like 4 heroes, if you hit like 3 or 4 heroes, like you can sometimes just win the team fight off that. But so far in this laning stage, I don't think you guys really played it correctly. Okay, so you're popping the meta, but once again, you don't have illusion. You do not have an illusion build, so this is kind of a waste, which I'm pretty sure you realize after doing this. Yeah. Especially in a lane where you definitely, like, you guys don't have much kill potential on a Bristleback who had early levels, and you had enough time to decide for that. He's level 6. This is really scary. Yeah, so you see the Lina. You even level up your meta 1 point, even though you know it's on cooldown, which isn't something I would do. If your meta's on cooldown, I probably would just maybe level Conjure, because you're not going to be able to use this. Whereas if you get an early point in Conjure, you can use that to scout. You can use that to just stay in the lane and get the creeps while you go farm the jungle. Like, the good thing about Conjure is it's sort of a 1 point wonder, even though in terms of farming the lane, that is. Because even though it's only 30% damage, all you need is just one illusion to get the creeps that are in the lane, because it'll be using the DPS of your own creeps. When they get low, you just auto attack it with your illusion while you're just in the jungle. Like, you don't need a lot of points into it early to accelerate your farm. All it really takes is 1, and it's kind of a big deal in my opinion. Like, I would still almost always go for 1 point in Conjure pretty early. Alright, so you have Boots of Travel in your quick buy. Okay, so Bane TP'd out, Bristleback sees that, and he's playing aggressively. This is kind of a weird play from Bristle. Wow, I can't believe he's doing this. Like, you're level 6, but there's not much you could really do there. He just kind of ran you down. You didn't have Sunder. That was a really weird play from Bristle, because if you did have Sunder, you would have been able to just kill him under tower. So, like, he saw that you were level 6, so that was kind of like a dumb play from him, but it paid off. I'm not entirely sure what to say there. Like, you stuck around on the wave, even though Bane was TPing, which is probably the call I would have made. I probably would have died to the guy as well, to be honest. Alright, so gets that kill. So he at least ends up dying, so that's good. But you had Boots of Travel in your quick buy, and when you were dying, you bought your treads. just to save your gold, and yeah, that death is obviously going to put you behind. And I wouldn't even go for a Boots of Travel Rush if you don't have illusions. Like, there's no real point. Like, if you're going for a battle build, you want to go for like these battling items actually going to help you tank up, like the treads. So I don't know if that was your idea, or if you just had that in your quick buy to make it easier to go for your boots, or maybe just accidentally put it in there. But either way, the Boots of Travel would have been a bad decision based off your skill build. Okay, so got some aggression over here. Yeah, another problem I have with this build is in pubs. This build, it's all it really takes is just 1 point or 2 points, and it's really good. Even just one. Like if they dive towers, you just cast this on like 4 of them, like I talked about before, and you can just turn it completely. Like, it's not really gonna help you against this bristleback that much. Like, it's not gonna increase your soul kill power on him. But if you had Conjure Image, you'd be able to just duck into the jungle and just farm. Whereas right now you're kind of just walking back and forth because you don't really have too much to do. But even if I was you, I'd probably just still be hitting these neutrals a little bit sooner than what you did. Maybe I would have just jungled because they are playing really aggressively on you. They're all off map. The only one you see is the Wraith King. So even being right here is kind of risky. If they were in position, they would have stunned you. Okay, you might actually, but you managed to survive. And Ember's still playing really aggressively. It's fine. So they all forced rotate. You're really low. You don't know how your ulti. You don't want to be in here. Yep. So you're making the correct play, walking out. So you're gonna go get HP. I'm not entirely sure. I probably would have just taken out some neutral camps in this situation. Like in this case, like you can easily just clear these 2 waves out, or these two camps out, and you know that they're top. Like, you don't really want to TP right back top. It's not a safe place to be. So you could have waited a little bit before you went back to base, and you wouldn't have lost much. So you're coming back here, and they're in the lane. So you'd be a little bit more wary about your movement. Definitely could have taken out some neutrals instead of just walking back to base there. But you're going for Sage first, Guided Breath of Strength. It's completely fine. I think if you go for the SNY route and you want to fight, the Sage is really good. It's either that or you go for the drums, which I like the drums, but that's kind of like personal preference. Some players don't like it. Completely fine. But you have max reflection now, so your fighting ability is really good. The thing is, you can't like capitalize that much as you would be, even if you had 1 point in Conjure Image. It's just so good. It starts at 30% damage. It just takes 1 point to get the creeps that are in a lane, and to pressure it, and to make them maybe force rotate. Like I said before, you're getting this tower. Yep. Okay, so just backing off. TPing mid because you see some combat. You're gonna cast Reflection. I like this play a lot. Punishing the bristleback has just been making some silly decisions all game, but he gets punished there. Yeah, it's 3 deaths now. Yeah, he's taking this camp up. Okay. Yep. Yeah. You see the lion. This is the really shitty thing about not having illusions. Like I said, like just 1 point and you can safely farm. You can just safely send it down a lane. Like right in there as you're walking bottom. You could have made an illusion, sent it mid. Obviously you don't want to send it right to the line. I'll just take it out. So you get hexed. You get immediately fingered. Actually, I think you had a little bit of time to maybe go for the Sunder, which you probably realize right after you die that you probably, like, the only play there where you live is if you go for the Sunder. Just walking away, you're not going to live against a Finger of Death. So I'm pretty sure that's something you just realized right off the bat after you died. But yeah, the only correct play there is to go for the Sunder on the Bristleback to give you that little bit of boost of HP and maybe survive the Finger.
Dire's bottom tower is
So you TP there, pretty smart. There's nowhere else to really TP. You could TP down bottom, but your team isn't in position, and you don't know exactly if they are going to be. So you're just making the safe move of farming, and yeah. So I don't really know if the max reflection has really done anything for you this game. The reason we see it sometimes in competitive games, and I say sometimes because it's still not the favored build, is because people will like pair it up with like a mech SF or like a mech Viper on mid, and then they have like their initiator, Blink Hero, or maybe they're like their Vlad's here, like Abaddon's really popular, and then they just 5-man with it, and then they use this ability to like quickly take towers. But in a pub game, the way I see this ability is if the enemy team has really good 5-man, then yeah, maybe you pump like 2 or 3 points in it, but just because that'll actually allow you to survive. Like compared to not having this ability, like your team would just die and you'd like flat out lose the game. But in this game, I think like not having more points in conjures has really hindered your ability so far. Alright, so you make the illusion, and you're just gonna be clearing this camp. So you're not. The thing, whenever I'm playing Terrorblade, I'm always looking at like creep HP, because obviously there's a bristleback in the lane, but 2 of these creeps are actually kind of low. And it still takes him like 2 hits to clear an illusion, plus a cool spray, so you could have sent it over here and maybe got 2 CS. It's definitely better than having it with you over here, because all it did is really help you take out this small camp a little bit faster. Whereas having these 2 lane creeps would have been a lot better. You might have even been able to get 3, but it's alright. So you have your Sage now. You're definitely pretty tanky. And you're going for an SNY, which I can't really... SNY is completely fine. Like, if you're going for this build, SNY is good. Yeah, like you just want to fight. You want to be part of battles. So you just want to be as tanky as possible. Focus on just staying on top of them, and just get off reflections, because it has a 16-second cooldown. But if you go for an illusion build, I definitely think you still go for Manta. It's just too good to not have, in my opinion. But this build is completely fine with your skill build. So now... Alright, so you're microing your illusion, that's good. You always want to be doing this. Sending it back so the creeps don't do damage to it. Even though you're kind of like all near it, you still want to be like microing it, obviously. Okay, so that's good. You made the illusion that you instantly sent it down the lane. It's really good. It's how you want to be playing this hero. And it's super good in pubs. Kind of just farming with the Ember. Just holding your holding your auto attack. It never misses it. It's pretty funny. Yeah. Alright, so you're sending it in mid. Yeah, this is really good. So like, the best way to play TB, or like the classic way, let's say, is just sit in the jungle. You stay in safe ranges where you know that your chance of you dying is extremely slim to a gank, and then you just send illusions down lane. You make them rotate, you get vision of them, and then you slowly push more of the map and gain a farm lead. Because this hero is still extremely scary in the late game. One of the best hard carries, I would say. Okay, so you're farming it, doing pretty good. Sometimes you miss them, for sure, especially if you have all these creeps. So much damage to worry about. See, right. So you pop meta, or you had meta already, my bad. You didn't pop it there, but you still have it up. I still get kind of confused because I saw your illusion mid, that was a melee, but sometimes I forget that it's an aura on meta. No. So actually, I think that was kind of a buff to Terrorblade in terms of slip push, especially late game, because your melee illusions are stronger. They have a lower base attack time, so their damage is similar to the range ones, and they just move faster, and that's the important part. But yeah, if you're getting close to your SNY, and you're playing pretty well at this stage, doing basically what you need to be doing. You're sitting in the jungle, you're just sending your illusions out. You see the Wraith Gang, It's a really good spot, which I think you might have said vision on them from the creeps, but either way, that's it over there. Just farming with it, really good. See, your CS is just it's skyrocketed ever since you started using your illusions. I think you could have done earlier in this game, like this. I don't think this reflection build has really paid off. Like I said, like it still requires coordination to use it. Like a max reflection build, like you still need to coordinate like pushes with your team, and your team doesn't really have the best like five man like straight up tower, like bulldoze down every tower type of a lineup. Like you don't have like an SF, you don't have like a Razor or a Viper, you don't have a hero like Omni or Abaddon, or like a pickoff hero like Slardar. You don't really have that. Your heroes are kind of just split map and slowly gain advantage, which I think the illusion build would have been just better in this case. Like I said though, 2 points in it, completely fine. You can just TP the towers to hold it, and that's yeah. So you're sending illusions down, make more illusions. You're making illusions whenever it's off cooldown, which is what you should be doing. I see too many people just make them like right when they get in range of their farm. But that is not the ideal way to be playing this hero. You have way more uptime on your illusions, guys, if you are always casting it. Basically, there are some cases where you don't want to be casting it like straight up. Like if the creeps are just so far away that like even one is like not really gonna be able to do much. Like if you're in base and all the waves are like pushed to the enemy side, but even then you send it to the jungle. So yeah, and even maybe sometimes if you like low on mana, but so you're just microing it, doing a pretty good job. Going for the archer, didn't manage to get it. Kind of just idle here. Okay, so you see the engagement bottom. Let's see if you TP to it. So you're holding your TP, which is really smart. You don't want to TP to like a bad engagement, because even if you TP, you still have to walk a little bit, and when your teammates died. So, and it looks like Lich is going to die as well. So yeah, that would have been a really bad TP, but you watched it and you waited for it, so that is good. Got your meta illusions. And you see all of them. Now you see a port from yellow. Does he have a blink? No, he does not. And it looks like he's going for Radiance. He's wishing he had a blink right now. But yeah. So just sending your illusions out. Look at this. This is just so good. Casting spells, using mules. Obviously you can see the fake illusions now since the change, but actually with your Arcana, it kind of makes it kind of a little bit harder to see that it's a fake illusion, I think. Slightly hard. Not. You can clearly see this is the illusion. Alright, so it's farming it. So this is really good. Like your ability to just farm neutrals and do this is pretty good. You do not want this. You do not want this to die. Ah, it died. That is really unfortunate, but that definitely does happen. Something I would say is to work on just shift queuing from camp to camp. Like when you see me play, sometimes I overdo it. Like I'll make an illusion and then I'll A move to this camp, even though I'm still taking this one out, just so that when my hero is done taking this out, I instantly move. So that way when I'm microing illusion, I can just be a little bit more efficient with my main hero's movement, which I think you are doing some this game, but sometimes you are just sitting around, which does happen. Okay, so you ported bottom, even though you saw them mid, which it's kind of questionable. The thing is, you don't have meta. You don't have meta, so you don't want to fight. Like the power of reflection really does get kind of combined with meta. So I think going bottom was probably an alright idea, because you weren't going to be able to really contest that tower anyways. Now with the heroes you have, like Ember doesn't have his Battle Fury, he's squishy. You have these squishy supports. Like your team fight really isn't that great, unless you're like diving heavily and you have your meta up, which you didn't. So. I think you could have stayed down there. Yeah, I think you could have stayed down there a little bit longer and just got illusions off. Like, you're coming into the jungle, but your Ember's in here farming. And, like, yeah, you having farm is pretty good, but, like, you still, like, you're contesting with your Ember now. Whereas you could have just stayed bottom and just spammed illusions out. Like, what I like to do is, like, right over here, I would have just made an illusion, just sent it out. Maybe there's a bristle back here to clear it, maybe not. But, like, if I get vision of them, and I know their locations, because sometimes they'll just pop out on the map, like, to push these lanes out, and then that'll give you free time to go clear these. So I think TPing back, or going into the jungle right here was a bad decision. This hero's really good at just playing aggressively, like in the trees and stuff, and using like information to your advantage. That's obviously something that comes with practice, but you kind of just need to remind yourself to do it. Okay. So you're going for a Scotty follow-up. Completely fine. I definitely want to see you pick up a Manta at some point. I think it's way too good on this hero. But I think you might have been able to just get away with the Scotty right now, because like right now in this type of situation, you guys just don't have the team fight. You still need items up. Ideally you would want a mech on one hero, which you don't have. Let's run for a Force and a Glimmer, which it's okay versus their lineup because they have 2 melee carries. I think a mech would have been a lot more helpful this game. But your team fight just isn't that great. Like if LC duels someone, he's pretty much dead. You don't really have much save. You're just gonna get popped by Alina, and they're gonna have this Aegis. Like, yeah, like even like. So you bought the ultimate orb. I think in this type of situation, so you're DC'd right now, but still, I'm just gonna fast forward through this and still talk about this. So even in this type of situation, I still would have went for the Manta. Like sure, the Scotty's really good in a game where like you're actually able to fight and make use of your reflection. But in this type of a game where you're kind of just split pushing anyways, like you just want as much map pressure power anyways. So I definitely think that just splitting your S and Y would have been the smart choice. So there were some unpauses and BM unpauses, and your team is taking some pressure. Alright, so just going from this down that target. Reflection is actually so insane. It's going to be off cooldown again. You can use this twice in a fight. You don't have Sunder up. So you're just kind of running from the burst back, which is a smart decision. Still, you have high armor, and yeah, you need to just fucking man fight this guy. Alright, take him out. Just beat the shit out of that bristle. Alright. Yeah, so your barracks is under attack. Like, see, in this type of a situation, yeah, thanks for... Yeah, fuck those guys. But, I would have split. Like, this ultimate orb isn't doing anything for you, and you just got Rax pushed. Like, you need as much power as possible to defend. I would have split the S and Y into the Manta, which obviously you were DC'd, so when you come back, you're not completely, like, your mind isn't completely focused on the game, right? But I don't think that was something that was even on your mind. So that's kind of why I'm saying it. Like having the Manta there, you would have killed the Bristle a lot faster. Yeah, maybe you might not have lost as many heroes as you guys did. Yeah, you would have been way better off than just having an ultimate orb in your stash. That's what I'm just trying to say. And you guys still just don't really have the best team fight. It's really hard to fight against them, especially since there's a Radiance now. 2 lives on Wraith King with a Radiance. You don't really have the team that can deal with it. And then on top of Bristleback just being so tanky. Yeah. He's also going for a pipe on top of a Crimson Guard, so he's making his entire team really tanky. And Lion already has his blink, as we have seen. Alright. So, let's see. I don't think this illusion well, this illusion here is actually fine, because since you know that they're mid, like you don't want to like send an illusion to a lane if it's like instantly going to die. In that case, you just want to use it to like farm the jungle faster. Especially since your Ember was pushing up top, so that was completely fine. You're sending that illusion down. Top. That illusion that you just made, I would have sent it mid. Just because you know that the Wraith King is up here. It's not going to be able to get anything done. Yeah, it just dies. Whereas you could have just had it with you mid right now. Alright, so you guys smoked out. It's kind of weird. So there's going to be a duel. So you're popping your meta. I'm not sure if you need to do that, but it's just something to kill him faster. And you want to be playing safe at this point. Like, you guys already lost your tower bot, so it's probably fine. But you guys definitely will not be able to fight once it's off cooldown. If you could get this pick, that'd be big. Yeah, this should be a pretty easy pick. He pops his blade mill and everything, but yeah, it's gonna get locked down. So that's a huge collection. Wow, 1700 gold swing. Did he have? Didn't even have a streak. And you guys aren't even that far behind, but you know what? 1700 gold, guys. All right. That's actually insane. Alright, so just pushing this lane out. Going for a BKB. Which... like, BKB is definitely mandatory against our lineup. Now that they have the... Now that they have the Radiance on the Wraith King. Like, you want the BKB. Like, the BKB is going to be better than the MKB. By far. Like, actually, you probably shouldn't even consider MKB on the Zero. Or illusion heroes in general, I think. Well, maybe... Well, actually, Terrorblade is one of the heroes that you might consider it on. Just because his main hero is actually so strong with meta. But even then, you'd rather have the BKB because it'd be so much better against the rest of the enemy's lineup. Especially against the Lion and the Lina still. Even though it's pure damage on the ult. Just being able to dodge, negate the stun or the Yules. It's really important. On top of just the Radiance damage itself. Help you get off easy sunders. And you guys do need a frontliner, so the BKB is definitely a good choice. But still, I think that dissembling the Manta earlier and maybe just saving the Sage for a sell would have been a better idea. Definitely would have helped you out a lot in this game. Like you've just been able to, you guys have you've only really been split pushing. In a game like this, just Manta would have been the best choice. Okay. See how you set this engagement. I think you use your reflection a little bit soon. I think you've been using it a little bit too soon for the most of this game. Like, you can just save it a little bit. Because it's already off cooldown, and his teammates just came, but still. Yeah, maybe just wait on your reflections just a little bit. Hitting that like 4-man reflection is just so strong. But maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm not sure. Maybe using it even on just like one target when you engage is completely fine. Oh, actually, you do get the Radiance burn from the Wraith King on top of his aura, his lifesteal aura. So it's probably actually completely fine for the Wraith King. Yeah, you basically have your BKB at this point, and now you guys are actually really good at team fights. I believe. I would say so. You can basically just hit their supports down. Like, even though the Lina is going to be taking so much damage from you. The Wraith King isn't that tanky yet. Doesn't have an AC or anything. And he doesn't have any big HP items. It looks like he's going for an Octarine. Okay. So you're going to follow the BKB up with a butterfly, it looks like. Which is completely fine. I think the butterfly's going to be okay in this situation. But right now you kind of just have to be playing like you have been. Like, even right now though, I would still rather that you be like kind of in their jungle. Just playing really aggressively. Because that's kind of like how you guys are going to get like an advantage in this game. Like, you need the lanes to be pushing as much as possible. Just to spread them out. Just so you guys can actually get picks with the LC. Because ideally, even though you guys can team fight pretty well, it's still something you want to avoid against like the Radiants, the Bristleback Auras, and their team in general. And like you can, and you guys have this good ward down here. You can easily just be playing off map, just like kind of in this area. It's a really good access point just to send illusions down mid or maybe bottom, and then you just form these jungle camps whenever you see that it's safe to do so. And then you let like the Ember just constantly push this out safely, and then he's farmed this side. Yeah, I think you could have been using a little bit better use of just the map, or a lot better actually, to get an advantage, and just to spread them out, look for picks. Sending an illusion down here, should be able to clear that out. Okay. And you guys are just kind of sticking together, which I guess is okay. Yeah. They're playing off map at this point, and that ward did go down. The ward in their jungle. There's gonna be an engagement. You're not nearby. Team does not want to be taking this, but you're walking over, which is the smart thing. If your team gets wiped and you're like the only one alive, like, you're not gonna be able to really ideally hold the racks. You guys will just lose way too much. And you guys know that they're taking Roche. Let's slow this down. Let's see how you take this engagement. Okay, so that's a really good deflection, obviously. You're really close. You hit it on 3 targets. And yeah, just having that Wraith King with his auras is so strong, man. It's so good. And it's going to be coming up again. Like, it's really easy team fights if you can just constantly do that. Pop your BKB, walk in, and just cast your reflection. That's one of the reasons why Wraith King or Terrorblade is really good against Wraith King. First of all, he lacks AoE, and he's a melee hero, so it's easy sunder target. And yeah, you can get his illusion. It's good. I would probably never pick Wraith King against Terrorblade, to be honest. But even then, I still think that this was a hard draft for you. Because like you being really good against one of their heroes doesn't make up for the fact that they have 2 heroes that are like extreme hard counters to you, and one that's pretty decent. I don't know if I've seen Enchant really do the best job stealing your illusions though. So yeah, that's why I think that maybe a lower, well, not like people that aren't really good with enchant, yeah, like lower level enchant players, they might not be the best at countering the Terrorblade. Because being able to steal it and just push it down the lane is so strong. Now you guys are just 5 mana, staying together. Even in a situation like this, I'd probably send one of your illusions though to an opposite lane. Like you could send it from top, from where you were sitting at mid, and it would be able to push that wave in. Like it just got cleared anyways. Your illusions are just they're just not very good this game. But that illusion on the Wraith King is obviously really good. God, it's insane. Yeah, and when your BKB is down, you're just missing these attacks, and it's pretty hard. You stun... I don't know. You do not use the Sunder on him. It's fine. Yeah, saving your... I probably would have went for a Sunder on someone instead of just letting myself die, but of course you wanted to get him without him surviving. Now they have 3 down. This should be an easy tower. At least 1 Rax. Even with the enchant buyback, should be at least 1 lane of Rax for you guys. And you're just auto-attacking it, not really afraid of too much. Okay, send those illusions to the ancients. It's good. Okay. So at this point of the game, sending your illusions to the neutrals while your main hero farms the lane in a situation like that is actually better, because you already know that they're all respawning, so you're safe to do that, which is actually the more efficient move, but it's also the less safe one. Like in the mid game, obviously you want to send your illusion out to the lane immediately. But ideally, if you're farming as efficiently as possible, and that's like your goal, and you're able to do that, you just send the illusion onto the camps to clear them, and then you move your hero to a different spot to clear the lane and then get a better access point. Take out that guy. Pretty easy pick. Probably going to be selling that Aquila. Now I know that you're going to be going for a defusal. I'm pretty sure it's your next item. Yeah. And I do not think it's that good this game. I don't think it's that good at all. Because the thing is, like, Wraith King is such a huge mana pool, especially since he's going to be getting his Octarine. Which actually I don't even know if that boosts it anymore past the point booster. But either way, he has a huge mana pool at this point, especially with the build he's going for. He has a Blade Mill and he has drones. It's almost near 1400. If you guys are making this push, I'll talk about the diffusion in a little bit. And you get it on him. Obviously everyone else is on fog, so it didn't hit him. But even just having it on Wraith King, it's hard for them to fight into you. It's a really good Lich ult. He has Ags too, holy shit. So you're just manning up. Probably would have sundered him because you were a little bit low on HP, but he said fuck it. Or maybe you're just waiting until you get lower. Better opportunity. But if you get locked down without your BKB, you're probably dead either way. Looks like you're dead. Okay. Just need to... Well, you died for the racks. It's completely fine. It's a good trade, I think. God damn. That gold swing. Yeah. So you're going for the defusal, which... Like, it's... The thing is, like... Sure, if you're able to go, if you have like a Manta build and you're against heroes that can't clear your illusions easily, then yeah, you might be able to drain all of Wraith King's mana, so you can't get an ulti off. And the thing is, your illusions are not very effective against the enemy team. Like, they're just getting destroyed. Even if you micro them and split them up really well, they're gonna die to the Radiance Burn, to the Cool Spray. Just Lena casting your spells randomly, just gonna be able to hit them. Not randomly, but controlled. And then the Lion, and the Enchant, like, you're just not going to be able to actually hit him enough times with your illusions to drain his mana. Of course, it still does give you a lot of agility, but there's bigger items you could be going for. Like, if you have a Satanic against the enemy lineup, you become really hard to kill. Like, they have to lock you down, and they have to have all their spells up just to burst you. Like, they need to, like, chain everything correctly, which opens up a lot of space for your Ember, your Lich to get off whatever they want. Your Lich has an Ags, obviously, and even with the enemy disables, you still have pressed the attack on your team. So yeah, I don't know. I think with the Satanic build, you'd be just way better off, or even just making sure, or just splitting your SNY into Manta. Like, I'm pretty sure that you know that, like, at this point, the Manta is just insanely valuable with all of your set items, and just you being a high level, just insanely strong. And Manta did get buffed as well, while SNY got nerfed in the last patch. Yeah, the cooldown is lower, and there's also that trick you can do where you can pop it in. You can pop your illusions in melee form, and then use meta, and then they'll still have the same damage as if they were melee, the same damage penalty. So yeah. Just pushing the lanes out. Definitely what you need to be doing. Sending one down mid. Looks like that illusion's just gonna immediately die, or maybe not. Well, they're actually just running away from your illusion. Yeah, they don't know where your enemy team is, or where you guys are. So this is going to be a clear it. And you guys are just taking down this pretty easy rush. But you're constantly sending your illusions out, which is really good. Scouting them, keeping the pressure up. There's too many players that just like way too idle with their illusions. Just having good movement with them just wins games completely. And I think like a lot of it, like if you weren't as aggressive, or if you weren't, if you didn't have such movement with your illusions, like if you focus more on just like super efficient farming in the jungle, you probably would have lost this game. You would not have been able to get to this point. You would have lost earlier. Like once you got your illusions up and started sending them out, that's when the game started to really turn around. And that's why I think that just you having more points into your conjure image earlier would have just made the game a lot easier. Just increase your chance to win. Like, you didn't really need to go for the max reflection build, so you're getting engaged on, yeah, big time. But that actually wasn't enough damage to kill you if you had a satanic, just for example. But either way, you had your Aegis. You're going on him aggressively, and that bristle's super tanky, man. Damn. Now you have to back up. Nobody really good to sunder on the enemy team. Maybe the enchant. Probably would have went for the enchant right there. But maybe you're afraid of getting disabled and locked down. Your teammates need to back, so smart move to just back, not go for the center play. Even though the range is kind of decent after the changes. Let's see, what's the range on it? I think it might be 600. Not sure, the tooltip is terrible. Just farming this lane out, farming the jungle lane, and sending your illusion to the lane. I think even at this point, like, having the quicker boots of travel would have even been better than the diffusal blade. Maybe. Adds a lot of move speed, helps you just map pressure and everything, and just being able to instantly port to your team if they get engaged on, or if they take any bad engagement. It's really good for these late game scenarios. Obviously, the diffuse is really good though. The DPS. I still don't think it's the correct call. Even like a second Scotty might have been better for the slot, for everything that it gives you. I'm actually a huge fan of 2 Scotties. Okay, there's not much your Ember could do right there. Needed to have a safer remnant out. So that's actually a huge kill for them. Ember's like your big damage dealer, especially against their melee cores. So he buys back, or the Lich buys back. Ember's still dead. Ember does not have buyback. Okay, so you cast your reflection, and having man, like that's so good. It just forces him out. You sunder him. Smart play, and you solid attack. And just dead. So just one of these scenarios where it's kind of this back and forth in the late game between who fucking just dies more on each team. Just running into the enemy team. This just happens. This type of shit just happens at every rating. So one team dies, the one that kills them overextends, and then just kind of happens again. And again. Okay, you have to travel in your quick by now, which is definitely the correct choice. But you should definitely have a man to this point. Having the SNY for this long was a huge mistake in my opinion. It would have been insanely helpful. Just going on this guy. Wow, he's really tanky. You guys have to back the fuck up. You don't have Sunder up right now. Yeah, this might just be a game where you just have to end out by either getting a good pick, maybe the enemy overextends, or you just kind of slowly whittle down their top tower and barracks. by the way, guys, I had a lot of people message me for like coaching and shit. After the video I posted, and I probably wouldn't do it the way I posted it, like live coaching. I think that's just way too inconsistent. Like, yeah, it can be really nice, but like you could get like 3 really bad games, and like that'd be like a huge waste of time forever I'm coaching. That'd be really just terrible. Because obviously Dota games are just so inconsistent in terms of their quality. Like maybe someone steals your lane or something. Maybe you have like a griefer or some shit. Like that could easily happen like 2 times in a row. Or maybe you have like a really bad matchup and there's not much you can do. Like I just don't want to do live coaching. It's just too inconsistent. If I was to do coaching, it'd probably be replay coaching, where I'm kind of doing what I'm doing now. Maybe I'd be talking with you as well. Or maybe I just do this. I don't know. Yeah. But I don't think I want to do that again. The live coaching thing. It's just too inconsistent. Okay, so just making these illusions and just sending them out. I mean, at this stage you're basically 6 slotted. I mean, at this point you're basically you just want the gold for buyback. But you definitely want your Ember to be taking all the neutrals, and even your support should have priority at this point, just because you have so many items up. You're really not going to be getting much stronger, except if you sell the SNY for Manta, which I know you do later, but... Okay, so yeah, there's a steal on the illusion. I haven't seen that many steals this game. Maybe his team just told him. Oh, you're going for the moon shard. That's right. That's right. So yeah, the gold's still pretty important because you want the moon shard and buyback. You need the moon shard. Still forget about that item. Don't have enough to buy it and have buyback though. Not quite yet. If your illusion gets some creeps, you'll have it though. I still think that just having the Manta is even way better than having the Eaten Moon Shard. But I'm pretty sure you're aware of that. Especially after this game's going. Like, a lot of this game has been basically... like, you guys basically came back into this game and have won this game basically just off you just simply pushing the lanes in with your illusions. Like, you're doing what you need to be doing. But you could have just done it a lot sooner if you chose a different build. You're still farming the jungle. It's hard to really be playing super aggressive on the map at this point. Like, if you get picked off, that's a huge deal. You guys are just safely waiting for Roche. Definitely agree with that. Now you have your moon shards. Your LC have ace. Alright, your LC one for... God, this build is crazy. Silver Edge, Ags, and Deso. Your LC had an AC against any team, that'd be really big. But he doesn't. AC is also super good on Terrorblade. Or Vlad's even. Vlad's gives you so much damage if someone on your team has it. Because it's base damage, obviously. And TB just has so much stats. He gets a lot of damage from it. Lifesteal, armor. Bane with Aether Lens, which is fine. Lich Bill is fine too. Because he didn't really have a really good Vlad's carrier this game. But LC Vlad is pretty good though. But so you guys are going for this push. I'm kind of surprised that Ember was the one that took it. Because they don't really have the best jump, because you're going to be in the front lines with the illusions and everything. But if they can jump to the back and get the Ember, like, I'm going to be really surprised. And yeah, you got stolen and then manager. Your illusions are so terrible in these actual fights. I was saying this is why it's just so hard. On top of them just being able to use those spells when you push them down, push your illusions down lane, you're fighting, give your BKB turn on. At this stage, man, like, I don't even know if I would be attacking the enemy heroes. I think I would have just attacked the goddamn Rex, to be honest. I guess I do have glyph up. Actually, I don't know if I can actually see glyphs in replay. So maybe attacking enemy heroes was the correct play, but you guys didn't get a good trade either way. So I might have just went for the Rex. Or maybe just slow pushed it. But even with your illusions, you can't really slow push against their spells, which instantly take them out. Okay, so you just need to play defensively, wait for your Ember. So you're just sitting in base. One of the things I would say though is something that might not seem like a huge thing, but like I know that you're doing a pretty good job of it, like always using your illusion whenever it's off cooldown, but it needs to be like instantly, man. Like think of like anti-mage, like whenever AM's blink is off cooldown, you're like farming the map, you always want to just be instantly blinking. And like over the course of the game, like you get just so much more distance on the map. And well, we got this fight going on. So you know that guy's dead, so you change targets. Completely fine. Kill the Wraith King pretty easily. You do not have BKB up though, but you do have Sunder. The Wraith King. That was a buyback on Lena. Wasn't able to do anything with it. But like I was saying, like you need to make sure that your illusions are casted like completely instantly, kind of like when you're playing AM. Of course, there's times when you don't want to like instantly blink on AM, and there's times when you don't want to instantly cast your illusions on Terrorblade. But in cases where you just are focusing on farming and keeping the lanes pushed, it's generally best to just make sure you do it as quick as possible, like every time. Because like even if you're like 2 seconds late every time, like that's gonna add up over the course of a game, and it'll have a huge difference on your game impact. Oh yeah, that's a line with an axe. Damn. Yeah, there's no way you can sunder a target. You could have maybe went for a risky play where you pop BKB and go for a sunder, but you can't really teamfight anyways. I agree. It's kind of just like you can't really do anything. Just gotta play passively and just wait for mistakes. Like these type of games, like if it gets to this stage, just kind of suck. But still want to be playing correctly. Okay. Up your BKB immediately. Fine with that. Just want to kill him as fast as possible. Don't want any missed chance to deal with. It is a 5-second BKB anyways, so. Game ruiner. Were Wraith King's items that bad? I don't think they were that bad. I mean, he can't really do much to you, like you just kill him so quickly. And Ember's just in the back too. I would say we definitely he wanted an AC though. Instead of like the Shadow Blade and the Demon Edge. Yeah, this is bad. These two are bad. The Octarine is okay. But even that, I'd probably have an AC. But I mean, you guys just got mega creeps. I think this game actually just ends up being like stalemate for a little bit. You're just kind of like slowly pushing on. I think this is when you actually get the Manta. But like having it sooner would have been way better. Having the Manta as well would have helped you in team fights. You actually would have had some illusions to work with. Because the thing is, like, yeah, for like your Conjure Image, that's something that you want to go into a fight like having up, just so you can cast it again. So you have one up that engages with you, and then one that you cast immediately. And like, of course, those are going to get clear like they have been. But you just wait until their spells are on cooldown. And then you pop your Manta. And then you actually have a huge, insane amount of DPS to work with. And they can't clear them because like Lena's spells will be off cooldown, Lionel have Hex on cooldown, and the channel have enchanted one of your illusions. So I'm not saying like the SNY was like completely bad. It still does serve its purpose. Move a little bit faster with it, and I'm not entirely sure if the MAME really helped you this game. Definitely not that important once you already have this guy. Holy shit, this guy's mad, dude. So you guys have megas. Should be an easy push. This guy's dead. Oh my. Gotta get Sunder off though. Be patient with it. Sometimes I just say fuck it and Sunder my teammate. But this game's definitely gonna be over. Yep. Alright, so let's see this score screen. Hopefully the replay did not crash. Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. And then I'll talk a little bit more. Alright, so here's the score screen. So this game, I think you played it really well. Like, you knew how to play Terrorblade, obviously. Like, you were doing everything correctly. The thing is, you went for a build that, like, it's a team-oriented build more than anything. That, like, you need to have the heroes for it first, which you didn't. You didn't have a good mech carrier that can like snowball off tower pushes, and then lead into like early Roshan pushes. You didn't have anything like that. You didn't really have the best supports to really back you up. You didn't have anything like a Venge to swap you out, or like Venge with her aura for damage. You didn't have like the Dazzle with heals to sustain a push. You guys just didn't really have the best team fight. You guys had just kind of a standard lineup. Like yeah, the 2 points in reflection, that's really good. Just because the way the way I go into Terrorblade is I try to hold my reflection for as long as possible. But if I see that the enemy team is 5-manning and I know that our 5-man is absolutely god awful, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get like 2 or 3 points into it, and I'm gonna completely hold pushes, and I'm not gonna lose the game. I'm actually gonna extend the game out, which is what Terrorblade wants. But if you're in a situation where even then you can't really team fight, then I still think that just going more points in image is better, because you're going to force for more rotations and just play a more old school style of Terrorblade. And they didn't really have the best like straight up 5-man push either. Like at least they didn't really execute that well. Their push was pretty good if Enchant gets like 2 creeps and they could really barrel down your towers, but they didn't really execute it right either. Like, it's a pub game. So yeah, but like in general though, your movement was good with Terrorblade. I think you could have played a little bit more aggressively on the map, just by staying on their side. But I know that's kind of difficult to do, and it's like one of those things where like you have to be playing the hero enough to like get comfortable with them, to know when to sit there. And obviously you might know a lot of the stuff that I'm saying, but you just didn't execute it because you don't play Terrorblade that much. I don't think you play Terrorblade that much. I think that's what you said in your post. But either way, it's like one of those things like you just learn gradually. Yeah, I think you played pretty good though. Pretty damn good. Did everything that you really needed to win the game out. I think you had a lot of game impact for sure. Your LC wasn't able to really do much. And Yeah, I don't know, your team composition as a whole wasn't like the best. And like your hero wasn't best against the enemy lineup either, but you still like made it work. Just because illusion heroes are insanely good. Like that. But yeah, so well played. Hopefully this helped. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully everyone enjoyed this. See you guys later.